The last thing anyone needs is yet another video telling you to playlist your music or run ads, use content or use email, or that whole tired argument that basically tells you an exact formula of what to do. Instead, what we really need when it comes to marketing music is a framework, a system that we can use to judge opportunities on our own. You see, music marketing is about so much more than playlisting versus advertising or anything else. It's about connecting with people. It's about pursuing our goals and trying to craft a life of meaning and fulfillment through making art and sharing it with other people. So much emphasis is put on the mechanics of marketing without taking a step back to ask ourselves why we do the things that we do. Why do we release more music? Why do we make it in the first place? Why would we run ads? When would we not do some of those things? So rather than making yet another video that tells you exactly what to do in a highly specific way, we're going to create a framework by building up the principles of music marketing from the bottom. Now, when we're building a framework, it's a lot like a house, and we're going to start with the foundation. And the foundation of music is all about connection. It's about the artist connecting with the listener and listeners connecting with each other around a shared experience, a body of work. It is an emotion-first art form. Yes, there's definitely an intellectual component to a lot of music, but it really is at its core about emotion and connection. And because it's about emotion and connection, we want to pursue marketing opportunities that will allow us to create new relationships and connect with people and sort of pour into the existing relationships we already have to nurture them along the way. This is going to inform deciding whether or not to pursue any opportunity that comes our way. So, for example, if I'm looking at, let's say, playlisting or pitching to blogs, I'm asking myself, is this going to allow me to connect with people one-to-one and then deepen those relationships over time? If the answer to that is no, I'm probably not going to do that. Now, on the other side of the coin, if I'm looking at an opportunity and let's say I'm looking at creating organic content or I'm running ads or I'm trying to build my email list, I'm going to ask the same question. I'm going to say, am I able to create new relationships and then deepen those relationships over time? And with those avenues, the answer is yes. So I'm probably going to lean into opportunities like that. So for me, I have come to the conclusion over time that certain things are good and certain things are bad, and I lean into the things that I think are good. But it all starts with asking one simple question. That question is, will this allow me to create and nurture relationships with my audience? Let's go to number 2. Let's talk about frequency. The bulk of marketing in any product or field or anything like that is all about reminding people you exist. Ultimately, we're trying to get people down the funnel to where they will take some sort of action. In our case, it's usually listening to our music. It can be selling tickets to shows or selling merch and stuff like that. But really, 99% of it is about reminding people you exist, reminding people that you have new music, reminding people that you have tickets for sale, reminding people that they can support you through merch if they want to. It's all about staying top of mind with your audience. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people, not just artists, but just people in general, they look at marketing and they think, well, to remind people this much is to annoy them. But the two are not the same. Reminding is not equal to annoying. In fact, they're very, very different. And this is the point in the video where we talk about the algorithm. So the algorithm is beyond most of our understanding. The way these platforms work, all of Meta's products, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everything, all these recommendation engines are built on math and code that is so much more advanced than our ability to process with the human brain. These things are really, really, really good at delivering content to people at the right time, to the right person at the right time so that they will enjoy it. Because the point of the platform, all of them, platforms, is to keep people on there and consuming and enjoying the content that they discover. And so a platform isn't really going to, or let's say an algorithm, isn't really going to over-deliver stuff to people. I guess there's an argument for this happening if you were to set up an ad campaign and that is just so poorly set up that you're hitting the same people over and over and over and over again. But even then, there are measures in place to prevent that from happening inside of an ad platform. With organic content, forget about it. You're never going to annoy people with organic content. You're never going to overpost about your new song or about your concert tickets or anything like that, because most of the people who follow you they're not going to get every post. I mean, I would venture to say that 100% of the people who follow you are not going to get 100% of the content that you put out. So already you're not hitting everybody. And the algorithm is going to give your content to the right person at the right time. It's really, really good at this. The whole thing is built on that. Your job, our job, is to create more content, post more, and remind people that we exist. The only place really where we can run into trouble with over reminding, let's say, is with our email list. But this is easily avoidable as long as you're not sending out an email every single day and you're doing your best to deliver value with every email that you send. I mean, even if you were like light speed, hair on fire, and you're releasing a song a week and you're a crazy person and you're posting every day, sending one email every week that just says, hey, this song is out now, and you send it every Friday is plenty, and you're not going to be annoying people. If anybody subscribed to that, going to be like, oh, cool, new song. And especially if you offer something in there like, hey, the first 10 people to click on this link can download this track for free, you're incentivizing people engaging with that email. So that's the only place you could really run into trouble. Outside of that, you're realistically never going to annoy people with your content. The only person worried about posting too much or releasing too much or reminding people too much or just generally annoying people is you or me or whoever, is us. The market is the market. It's oversaturated. It's always been oversaturated. It will always be oversaturated. Our job is to release music and tell people about it. And that brings us to our third principle. This is kind of a three-part triangle. We've got our foundation, we've got our middle tier, and now we've got the top, and that's funding. So we want to connect with people. We want to deepen relationships. We want to remind them. We want to release enough music. We want to tell them about that music. We have to do that by either giving up our time or giving up our money. Those are the two ways that we fund this endeavor as artists. Now, when we first start out, most of us have more time than money. In fact, that setup persists for a while for most of us. We have more time than we do money. But eventually, at some point in life, we enter a season where we would happily spend extra money to earn back some of our time. And that's where paid marketing comes in. Now, if you have more time than money when you're first starting out, or even if you're not first starting out and you still have ample time on your hands and you don't want to spend money, the avenue that you're probably going to choose is to post organic content. You might, if you determine that playlisting is for you, I personally disagree, but if you determine playlisting is for you, then you might pursue free playlisting options. And so those two things, content and hopefully not, but if you do, playlisting for free, that's where you're going to spend your energy. And you're going to try to release probably more music than the average bear because you have more time on your hands to create it. But as you move forward in life and you get to that point where you want to spend a little bit of money to get your time back, you might start thinking about things like advertising, where you can leverage your dollars basically to fill in the gaps for your time. So rather than posting a piece of content every single day, you're posting a short form video 7 days a week. You might post one a week or 2 or 3 a week, and then you can boost those with ads to extend the reach. And so basically you're hitting the same number of impressions or awareness or people that you would if you posted every day, maybe more if you know what you're doing. And you only have to spend a little bit of money. Now, if you get to the very end of things and you realize, wow, I have no time and I have plenty of money and I still want this to work, you might outsource the whole thing. You might hire a creative agency to make content for you. You might hire a marketing agency like my business, DuPree to automate your entire advertising system so that the only thing you do is make music because you love it, and then the rest takes care of itself. And if, heaven forbid, you find yourself in a position where you have no time and no money, then your first order of business is going to be to figure out which one of those you can earn more quickly. Now, how you go about that will be up to you, but you will have to have one of these two things if you want to build this framework of marketing. So that's it for this video. Now, if you enjoyed this and you want to go deeper with topics just like this every single week, then I hope you'll subscribe to my newsletter, The One Thing. Every week, I send out one thing that I am either testing or trying on my end to succeed as an independent artist and entrepreneur. So if you do want to subscribe to that, I will leave a link to do so in the description of this video. And if you want to catch up on previous issues of that newsletter, you can read all of those at that link as well. Now, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.